In this corner, we have the GeoStar Defender for the category of the importance of geology for society, Mesa Verde National Park in the United States of America. Mesa Verde is the perfect illustration of why geology is crucial for society. I'm Michael Barthelmes, and I will tell you why. But first, there is one quote that I think crystallizes the history of people at Mesa Verde. William Durant said, "Civilization exists by geologic consent, subject to change, without notice." Now this is true everywhere. You won't find any modern or ancient civilization or society that doesn't rely on benevolent geologic features and processes for resources or shelter, or one that isn't at constant risk of a sudden change in fortune at the whims of geologic features and processes. But what makes Mesa Verde special is the clear simplicity with which this dynamic is illustrated. At Mesa Verde, a Cretaceous marine sequence, permeable sandstone underlain by shale, creates a system of groundwater, seeps, and springs that provide a consistent supply of water as people settled there and advanced from hunter-gatherers to subsistence farmers. Inundation of North America during the Cretaceous formed the Western Interior Seaway and resulted in deposition of marine sediments across the continent. The bottommost rocks exposed in Mesa Verde National Park belong to the Mancos Formation, a collection of predominantly shales interbedded with limestone reflecting changes in sea level. Bentonite beds, a product of altered volcanic ash associated with the active subduction along the western continental margin, are common throughout the Mancos Formation. The Mancos Shale is overlain by the late Cretaceous Mesa Verde group, made up of three formations: the Point Lookout Sandstone, the Menifee Formation, and the Cliff House Sandstone, deposited as the seaway regressed and shallowed to near-shore and beach environments. The carbonaceous shales of the Menifee Formation were deposited in swamps and lagoons and along meandering streams in a lowland coastal plain. Uplift of the Colorado Plateau associated with the Laramide orogeny resulted in streams downcutting through the sedimentary rocks and carving the cliffs. Erosion continued into the Pleistocene ice ages, and aeolian silt deposited during interglacials began to develop into fertile soil. Groundwater that is able to permeate the overlying sandstone encounters the less permeable shale and siltstone and is redirected horizontally until it emerges as seeps and springs at the canyon walls. The groundwater also drives chemical and physical weathering, which created alcoves in the sandstone within which the ancestral Puebloan people constructed elaborate stone houses. For thousands of years, societies grew and developed, from the archaic period to the basket maker culture to the ancestral Puebloans who constructed homes and became increasingly reliant on farming and food storage, eventually constructing the elaborate cliff dwellings in the sheltered alcoves of the Mesa Verde cliffs, benefiting from the geologic features and processes of the region. Then, about 700 years ago, something changed. Within the span of a few generations, the cliff dwellers had completely abandoned the area. We don't know exactly why the ancestral Puebloans abandoned Mesa Verde. We do know from climate records the late 13th century was a period of intense drought, and that this time is also what marks what some geologists consider to be the beginnings of the Little Ice Age, a global example of the importance of geology for societies. Likely, it was a combination of geologic and societal factors that caused the people to leave. Whatever the reason, the impressive cliff dwellings at Mesa Verde remain as a reminder of the delicate interplay between geology and society. Now, as a national park and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Mesa Verde exists as a place for people to visit and learn about the past of both humans and the earth. It is a place for inspiration and curiosity to flourish, a place for introspection and consideration, and as a place where we can consider the reality of subject to change without notice. Mesa Verde can also serve as an invitation to leadership as we consider our own society's place in geologic time.